Hi.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
Hello,
I can
madam.
see, I can see the number has increased to 34. How many were you on the call since morning? Have you been on the call? Because I know you are about 70, you are 70 plus, and
Yes,
I can
yes,
only see
madam.
35. So,
Madam, please,
what's the
let's
number
start.
since morning? Really?
36.
Has the number been like this since morning? Because I know you started since morning.
37.
Okay.
Let's start, please.
All right. Okay. So last week, let's recap what we did last week. Then we can move on. So last week we were looking at staging data in Excel. So we looked at data entry where we manually entered some data sets. Then we also looked at data validation where you can restrict the values you want to have in a particular column so that you reduce the chances of errors in your data set. Right. And then we moved on to cleaning. Yeah, I think so. We did some data cleaning. We found a little bit of errors. We had to clean them. And then we inserted our data into a pivot table. I think that is where we ended last week. So let me ask, have you entered the data sets?
Hello, madam, please.
Yeah?
It was last 2 weeks. Last week was Easter Sunday.
Yeah. So that was
Easter
2 weeks
Saturday.
ago.
Easter Saturday.
Yeah. Right. So
Yes. Yes.
entry we're doing the entry manually. And I want to know if you also enter the data along with me last week. Hello.
Yes, madam.
Hey.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
madam.
Yes. For me personally, I did. But
Hey, are you sure?
yeah, I did. I was actually following what you were doing actually on that day. All the things that we were doing, I was actually following. But the issue that I had was that after the Sunday lectures, my laptop crashed. They had this crash, so I had to go do it all over again. So I lost that particular video. And most of the times, I do record the meetings personally. So I've lost all this information. So I think I'll re-go back. I mean, re-watch the video back and then re-enter it again.
Okay. All right. No problem. Let's see if I can share what I have with you.
That'll be very helpful, madam.
Mhm.
Madam, please, are you sharing your screen?
No, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm now in Excel. I'm trying to load to get the data set because I increased the data set to about 100. So let me find that and then I'll share with you and we can move along. I mean, I also don't like the situation where I'll be moving along with you. When that happens, you become so focused that you tend to lose concentration. You're unable to follow. I don't know how you want us to do it. Should I load and then should I display while you watch and then you have the recording to practice on your own, or you like to move along with me? What do you prefer?
Madam, if we move along with you, I think that will help, so that we can also follow. And after the class also, we can use the recording. I think if we follow along with you, it will be okay. That's
Okay.
my idea.
All right. So, okay. All right. So let's see. Move along. Okay. I'm going to share the data in the chat. Oh, unfortunately, it's too much. I have about 6,000 characters, and the chat could only allow 1,000 characters. Okay, let me see. Let me put it in a document form, and then I'll share it with you. How about that?
It's okay,
Yeah,
madam. It's okay.
I'll put it in a document form. Let's name this procurement data set. I don't like that my ladies are not engaged in, like, I don't hear of you girls, you ladies in the class. It's only the guys.
Madam, we are here. We are here.
Okay, yes. I like to hear that soft voice. Okay. All right, cool. So let me just share this with you. So what we are going to do basically is that we're going to load the data. This time we're not going to manually enter it. That is because most of the time, a business analyst or data analyst, the data is presented to you, right? Last week we had to go through that process because I wanted us to see what it is, what it feels like to enter data manually. It's such a pain. It's not interesting. It's such a boring task. But yes, sometimes you'll have to enter data manually. So I think we are on the, it's advantageous to us that we have oh, give me a second. This thing shifted a little. So today will be loading it manually. If there is a need for us to clean the data set, we will do that. And then we analyze it. VCT. And visualize it. Okay. So let me share now. It's done. Let me share that in the chat. What should I rename it? Oh, GP. So it should be in the chat in about now. Let me know if you can see it in the chat. Let
Yes,
me know if you can
madam.
access it. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I think so. Yeah.
So we are going to download it, and then we copy everything in the data set, excluding the header. So you can see the header is center aligned with procurement data set, I think. That is, we are not copying that. What we are copying instead is all the data set beneath it.
From Aquaba supplier.
Great. Yes. From Alphabet suppliers. We are copying all the way to merchants. Right. I think at the end part of this program, we were mentioning some type of data sets that we could load, and I made mention of CSV,
Yes,
right? I don't know if you remember, yes, CSV. So this is an example of a CSV. CSV basically means separated values, right? It means values
Madam,
that
please, you are not showing your screen.
yes, I'm not sharing my screen. I've not started sharing my screen yet. All right, let me do that real quick. Let's go to the entire screen. Then we share. Can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, madam, we can see it.
Okay. So yes, this is an example of a comma
Document data
separate.
set.
This is an example of a comma separated value. And comma separated value, it means the data that has been presented to you have been separated using a comma. So you realize that we have Aquaba Supplies Limited, right? And then there's a comma. Then there's office chairs, comma. Then we have the date, comma. We have Greater Accra. You get it? So this line that we see over here is a record, right? It's a record. And it has been separated by commas. When we take it into Excel, we are going to arrange it so that Aquaba will take one column, maybe column A. Then chairs will take column B, the date will take column C. Then Greater Accra will take column C, right? Remember when we were looking at the interface, Excel interface, I made mention that we have columns and rows, and each row is a record, right? So what we have over here is telling us that Aquaba Supplies, they supplied us chairs, or we procured chairs from them, 15 quantity of chairs on this date, right? We even have the amount, I'm sure, or quantity. Yeah, I'm sure it's quantity. We have the quantity over here, and then we have the date over here, and then they are from Greater Accra region, right? So right now, I want to believe you've all downloaded the form, what do you call it? You've all downloaded the text.
Yes, in the
Okay.
in the chat, yeah.
Okay. This thing keeps happening to me, and
Madam, please resend it. Some of us don't have it. Madam, please.
it's in the chat.
I just joined, so I don't have the new chat, sir.
Oh, okay. Those who have should kindly share. I'm in a different environment at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. So right now I'm in Excel, just like you all are. So I'm also going to copy. I'm copying the data set. Okay. Control C. So I can safely close this out. And then when I come into Excel, I'm going to paste it over here. It's not supposed to be like this. Let me copy this again. my I don't know about this. Give me a second. Let me maintain my taskbar so that I think this should work. Okay, so right now I want to copy the what do you have? It's not supposed to be like this.
I think I'm also facing the same challenge.
Yes, it's supposed to be in line, like in one column. Then we can separate it. Okay, we can push it by text to value. Give me a second. We can push this. We can edit. Let me clear this. Where is the? I think I saw the. So when this happens, all you have to do is to go to the data tab, right? And then you click on text to column. Why is it not highlighted? Okay, click out of it. Let's go to text to column. We're going to place it by delimiter, right? And then we click on next. And the delimiter here is the symbol or the character that has been used to separate the data. In this case, ours is comma, right? Some instances, it could be separated by a space or a dash or a slash, right? So whatever the delimiter is, you are going to select it. So since ours has been selected by comma, we are going to break it over here like this. Then we click on next. Then we click on finish. So you realize that everything has been broken down into columns, but it's not behaving how we want to behave. The ideal situation is that it should align in a column, right? Then we have all this in place. So let's try to fix that. We are going back to copy it again. We'll go back to copy it again. Then we come and paste it. But you get the idea, right? It's supposed to break like this. So Aquaba office, then we have chairs, we have the quantity. Um, let's say this is price, this is quantity, this is dates, this is Greater Accra. So this one should fall under this, right? So let's go back to fix it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
Yes,
madam.
madam, we can hear you.
Your line
Oh,
went off.
yeah, I was kicked out of the call. So let's try it. Okay. Okay. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, madam.
Okay, cool. All right. So we are in Excel and we want to fix that. We are going to copy the entire thing again. So am I sharing my screen anyway? Can you see my screen?
No, madam, you've not shared.
No, please, you can't
Give me a
hear.
second.
Okay.
So let's select row 1, right? We want to okay. So you select row 1, then you hit delete, everything removes. So I'm going to paste it again, right?
Okay.
So we select uh, the same row 1, right? So A1, then we paste. And this is how it's supposed to behave.
I'm still getting the
So,
same thing.
wow. Are you still getting the same errors? Have you deleted? Delete everything.
Yeah, I've deleted it and then copied it again.
Okay, so look at my screen.
Okay.
Take a look at this. I'm currently in cell I5, right?
Yes,
When
madam.
you double delete, you can see the cursor is live within the cell. When you paste, everything will be in the cell. So don't double click in the cell. It happens when you double click in the cell, right?
Mm,
So don't double click. Just choose just hit on it once and paste. That should work.
it didn't work.
It did not work.
Yes, madam.
Never mind. For the sake of time, let me illustrate. I'll prepare the data set and share it with you
Great. Okay.
so that we can move faster. But ideally, when you are selecting, don't double click and paste. When you double click and paste, everything will be pasted in that cell. But when you just hit it once and paste, it will spread across, right? And then you have it like I do. Okay. So now we have it like this. Let me do that again. So we paste it here like this. And then you can see that because we copied from Aquaba, right? We didn't copy the procurement. It doesn't have a title. It doesn't have a name. So I'm going to insert one row above it, okay? So that we give it a name. So click on row 1. Okay, I'm doing that, sorry. I'm going to, with row 1 highlighted, I'll right click. And then I'll click on insert, and then one row will be inserted above for me, right? So over here, let's name this one supplier. And then let's fix it properly. When you want to see the items in there, click in between A and B so that it shifts properly. So I think the dates too, and then the region. Right. So here we have supplier. Then we have products, right? Let's name this products. And then let's name this unit cost in quantity. Then we have their dates, then region. Right. Okay. So I'll share this with you as an Excel file. See that with Excel, all the values have been arranged in columns and rows. Everything is demarcated properly. But with the one we copied, it was separated by comma. So values that have been, when you receive a data that it's been organized and separated by a comma, then that is a CSV file, comma separated file. Then we have the ones an Excel based file. So let me I'll save this file and then I'll share it with you. Then we can follow along. We look at some of the things, the insights we can get from this. So let's name this. What should we name it? Procurement data set already. What should we name it? Okay, let's name this working data. So this is procurement data set. Then we name this underscore working data. So this is what we are going to work with. So we leave the type as Excel workbook and then we save it. I didn't even take notes of where this thing was saved. Okay, now I'll share that with you. In the chat. I think it should be in the document. Okay. So on Excel files, normally you see XLSX, something like that at the end. It should load. Okay, it's currently in use. So I have to close out on this. Yeah. So you should have it in the chat any moment from now. Let me know if let me know when you download the data sets.
Yes, madam, done.
Okay, have you all downloaded it?
Yes, madam.
Okay, cool. Yes. Thank you, Stephanie. It was nice to hear your voice. Okay, so I'll go back to Excel. I hope I have, okay, I have it. My procurement data set is still active. I mean, the workbook is still active over here. So let's rename this data set. The other day, these sheets, we looked at Excel interface and we noticed that there are so many worksheets in Excel that we can use. So let's name this one we are currently working with. So we double click on sheet 1, we delete it, and then let's name this what name should we give it? So let's give this procurement data. Or main data. Let's give this main data. Okay. So we can have another sheet like we did last week where we created a pivot table and that we can continue adding sheet visualization and so on. So you just have to click on plus and then the sheet will be added. So let's delete these ones, the ones we just created. We do not have use for it now. When there is a need for us to enter a new, what do you call it? A new sheet, we'll do that. Okay. Now with the data set ready, we can format it. Let's highlight the first row. Maybe I want to center align it, embolden it, and then increase the font size. Maybe 12. so that I know that those are my headers, and then we all have the ones that we have. Okay. What can we do with our data sets? What are some of the basic analysis we can do with our data sets? Observe it and tell me what you think we can do. Maybe we can add something. We can edit, clean something. I mean, look at it and let me know what you think. Yes, and or Frank.
Madam, you can create you can add a currency symbol to the unit
Okay.
cost.
Okay. So you can format it by adding a currency symbol to it, or expressing it as an accounting function, like accounting figure, right? Because if this is 15 and this is 450, I mean, what's the difference between the Yes, King?
Madam,
Yes.
I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please do.
Please, when do we use color codings to indicate data? For instance, if I have all Greater Accras, because I'm seeing the data, Greater Accra, Ashanti, so can we use color codings to also indicate? Once I see yellow, I know yellow is for Accra. If I use blue, I know it's Ashanti region. Can something like that be done on data, or is not professional?
Okay, that is a great question. Right. So just like you mentioned, indeed we can use colors. That is called formatting. We can use colors to, colors sort of highlights, it makes something stand out, right? Right now, all of them are in white, black and white. But when we highlight something, let's turn this. Okay, let me not go there. Let me just talk about it. When you highlight this and then it appears red or yellow or green, it calls your attention. The colors are used in Excel. Are used in Excel for formatting, right? We use it to format. We use it to format Excel. We use it to highlight a trend, right? Or something that should stand out. Let's say um we have the regions over here, and then we have the quantities and then the unit costs. And we want to look at items that we have bought that the price or the unit cost, I mean, together with the quantity that we bought, it exceeded 10,000 Ghana cedis, right? So when we look at something like that, let's say when the amount we spend to procure such item exceeds 10,000 Ghana cedis, let's highlight it red so that we know that, oh, this one costs more, right? And then we have,
Yes, yes.
say, yellow or green. And this is just an example that I've given. So let's say currently we have dates, right? We don't know whether it's the date that the item was delivered or the date that the order was placed. Okay. Let's assume this is the date the order was placed, and then we can create another column for the date that the item was delivered, right? So we can look at the order date and the delivery date and see how long it took for the orders to be delivered that the order has been placed. So let's say it took 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. I mean, across the data set, we have different days, right? Some could take 15 days, some took 5 days, some took 10 days, and so on and so forth, right? And we want to know which supplier delivers on time. Okay. So we can set a condition that if the delivery date is let's say if the delivery date is less than 3 days, right, then let's group that supplier as reliable. Okay. And then we can say if the delivery date is between is greater than 4 days to about 7 days, right? Let's say 3 days to a week. It's greater than 3 days, but it's less than 7 days. So let's say 3 to 7 days. That makes it like a week, maximum 1 week. Let's say that one, we can say average or moderate, right? And then if the delivery date is more than 7 days, let's tag that person as um not reliable or late delivery, right? So we can call the one within 3 days, first 3 days as early delivery, and then the ones that is beyond 7 days, we can call those ones as late delivery. So here we can use the colors, right, to indicate we can give green to the suppliers that supply early, right? Early delivery, those that are less than 3 days. We can set a condition to highlight those in green so that when you pick the data sets and you see those highlighted in green, you know that the supplier delivers on time, right? And then when you see red, you know it's the red flag. So when you are making, you're about to place an order, maybe they all supply the same items to you at maybe at the same price, right? But now you are looking at something else, right? No longer concern for you because you've got suppliers that are giving it to you at the same price, right? But you want someone who would supply to you at a good price and still deliver on time, right? So you can use conditional formatting, which is over here. You can use conditional formatting to indicate whether this supplier is supplies on time or not. So if their delivery date is greater than 7 days, then maybe you would like to consider those that supply early for your goods. Let's say about a week to Christmas and you need to stock items, right? And you have this information about your suppliers. I don't think anyone will go for the supplier who supplies late, right? So you fall on this data and then it will give you an operational edge to make the right decisions for your business. Have I answered your question?
Yes, madam, clearly. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So with what you just said, let's give this dates, order dates. Okay. Let's make this order dates. Oh, that's already there. And then we'll add one extra column. Make the column, right click, insert. No, I don't want it on the side. I want it on the other side. I don't know why this one doesn't give you options. Google Sheets will give you option whether you want it on the right hand side or left hand side. Cool. So let's give this one delivery dates. Okay. Okay. Length of delivery, or let's say we are really pressed on time. We would have given it a delivery date, then we subtract to see how long it takes. So let's say length of delivery. How long length of delivery? Let's put it in days. So whatever figure we are putting here are in days. Okay. So I'm just going to put random figures here. Let's give this one 7. Let's give this 3. Let's give this one 6. Why is it giving me? It shouldn't give me dates. Okay, no worries. I just give this one. I'll highlight the whole cell and I'll format it to number, right? Just number. Let's give it a number. Yeah. No decimal place, just 0. Okay. Okay. So that worked. So let's give this one 1. Let's give this one 5. 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 5, 9, 12, 10, 3, and then 8, 7, 7, 7, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 1, 9, 2, 1. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 1, 5, 4, 7,
Madam, please,
7.
you've skipped one cell.
Okay, so let's give this one 1.
32.
Okay, then 3, 5, 7. What else? 3, 1, 2, 9. I should have made the 1, 1, and 2 less than 3 quite small so that we see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 9, 14. What else? We can say 10 or 12, 21, 9, 3, 1, 5, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7, 9, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 14, 14, 21, 7, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 14, 21, 21, 21, 21, 14. Okay, let's change this to maybe 3. Let's say this is 7. Let's give this one about 21. Give this about 3. 21. Yes, Safrada.
Madam, please,
Yes.
in the case whereby you place an order with a supplier and he or she tells you maybe they are out of stock, so due to that, the delivery delayed, would you still include it? Would you still state it as a late delivery?
No, they told you, right? This time around, they gave you a reason. And it
Yes.
still counts as a late delivery, even though you were pre-informed, right?
Okay.
So this is just giving us an idea of how long. Then with a supplier like this, you may want to look at historical data sets. If you are collecting data from before, you like to look at the historical data sets. Maybe this supplier is consistently supplies within 3 days, right? But when you place the order this time around, it the order was delivered, let's say 14 days, right? And they even told you. So you can even note it down, right? As you're taking you're organizing you're keeping records of these things, you can note it down that on this day, this supplier said that they were out of stock and that delivery will take long. So you have a note attached to the delivery date, right? But let's say something of that sort didn't happen. You were not informed that the delivery will delay, and this time around the delivery delayed. So historical data set would prove that this supplier has consistently been supplied on time, and it's just this time that the delivery delayed. So if you are interested in such data set, you also like to perform another analysis to find out why um the delivery.
Madam, please, your battery is
Your
running.
battery
We
is
are
low.
getting
You
Yes,
need to.
give me a second. I'm trying to find a place. I'm having renovation at home, so I moved over to a cousin's place so that would not be disturbed by the noise. Right, give me a second. Let me fix this. The carpenter is working at home and there's so much noise going on at the background. Let's be disturbed. So I had to move away from home. The time he came around, I mean, he didn't tell me he'll be coming today. So I was since expecting him. If he made me aware, then probably I would have visited the campus and then have the class from there or find a co-working space. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, sorry
Yes,
about
yes,
that.
yes.
I just I just plugged my laptop in. Okay. Uh, so yes, we were talking about historical data sets with the question that our sister just asked. So all I'm saying is that if you have a historical data set, it's going to prove that this supplier has consistently be supplying on on time, right? But for this ones, they didn't supply on time, right? So even if, I mean, with this, you can further investigate why the delivery delayed. And then maybe you may consult them, may contact them, and then they'll tell you probably they were out of stock. That is if they didn't inform you. But if they pre-informed you that the delivery will be late, yes, at that point it's classified as late delivery, right? Just that you have an explanation to why the delivery delayed. So if you think the late delivery would hurt your business, then you visit your data that you've collected so far to see the next supplier who also delivers on time. Then you purchase from them, right? I hope I can be heard.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So have I answered your question? Was it? I can't remember who asked that question. But let me know if I've answered your question.
Madam, please, yes.
Okay. All right. So our brother just gave
Madam,
us an idea. Yeah.
madam,
Yeah.
please, please, sometimes on when the contract is signed,
Mm-hmm.
the delivery date and everything is stated on the contract clearly
Mm-hmm.
for every supplier to
Mm-hmm.
supply their goods on time.
Mm-hmm.
So with what we are discussing now, that we are placing those who have supplied early and those who
Mm-hmm.
didn't supply early, those who at least were in medium, they did well.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to ask is that if you are designing your database,
Mm-hmm.
should you categorize them onto a different sheet and categorize those who are on time on a different sheet? And then the punishment aspect is now if you have any inquiry that you want to give, you take priority in those who supplied early, because I'm seeing some of them, even let's say if it is your suppliers, you are getting them from the north, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And definitely the delivery time on the contract must be looked at,
Mm-hmm.
or we do it a standard way, so that if I want it in 2 weeks, whether you are in the north or east or west, you should get your delivery by 2 weeks. And there shouldn't be any explanations. Because per what we are saying, we are giving room for some suppliers to say, oh, it is because I was coming from the Volta. That's why I'm late. Is there something like that exists when you are designing database? You take in
Okay.
consideration the contracts and all that.
Okay. So what you have just shared with us has got more to do like contract agreement, what goes into a contract with a supplier. And what we are looking at over here is the data. I mean, the data is just information we've collected about customers so far. So indeed, there may be a contract between the supplier and the company. And on the contract, it may state that their average delivery time is 7 days, right? But
Yes,
if as you place order, I'm sure right now we document everything, especially within a company. It's just
yes.
our personal life that we don't document that much. But when it comes to company, we document everything. So it states the supplier's name. Maybe on this date we ordered office chairs from, let's say, this customer,
Maybe
Blue
Kingdom
Rivers,
books.
from Blue Rivers in Western North. And per the agreement, we know that they supply within 3 days or 7 days. That is what they have on the agreement. Maybe let's take it 3 days. But every time we place an order, it comes after 3 days, maybe on the fifth day or sixth or seventh, right? And then
Yes,
when we ask them, they'll tell you, oh, they are coming from afar. It doesn't cut it. You are doing business. I mean, we are not here to make you give people chances and excuses and whatever is going to hurt your business, you shouldn't entertain it. So if I have a customer who is in all the way in the northern region, like this one, Northern Logistics, and can supply me the items within a day or two, I'll surely go for that person, right? So what we are looking at now, I mean, what she just shared with us is another aspect of it that is has got to do with the contract and then the operational decisions that goes on. But the data we are building over, mind you, this is a dummy data set. It's not real data. So you realize when I was at the point I was entering length of delivery for a greater Accra region, I made it about 21 days and I reverted to 1 day or three because I noticed if I am in Accra and this company is in Accra, their delivery should not take more than 3 days. You get it? When you are working
Yes.
with real data sets, you see the dynamics really well, right? But this is a dummy data set. I was entering the length of delivery randomly, right? I didn't pause to look at the region, consider certain things. It's just that at a point in time, I just decided to just not
Yeah.
give Greater Accra that big of a number because they are here. But it doesn't matter. You'd find a supplier in Greater Accra and they may still be delivering late. You get it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
mind you, this is just a dummy data set we are working with.
Madam,
Yeah.
I asked that because once you are picking the data and you are recording, it means that if there is any legal issues, the whole corporate entity will fall on the data available. Am I right?
Yes. So let me clarify this before we move on. What you just
Okay.
said is that there is a contract in place, and that's in the contract, everything has been stated, including the delivery time, which is like 3 days or less, right? That is there. That
Yes.
document is there. Now you are collecting operational data sets, right? You are collecting operational
Okay.
data, how the suppliers perform. So in
Okay.
hindsight, you may not see how the whole thing is going, but when you document it, then you would see that
Okay.
on this day, maybe in first quarter, we placed an order. We have 5 suppliers. Only one of them delivered on time, or 2 of them delivered on time. The 3 other suppliers, they delivered way above the the delivery time or delivery dates that we have on contract. So this is something that would
Okay.
inform you on what to do next. Now you'd have a data to back your, if it's accusation, if you are leveling accusations against the supplier, you have a data that backs it up, that shows that indeed it's on record that you supply within 3 days, but throughout our engagement with you, you've not lived up to expectation, and for that matter, we cannot continue working with you. That is it. So the data will help you to see the performance of your suppliers.
Okay.
Is that understood?
Yes, very understood. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So our brother just gave us an idea, and we want to see how we can highlight this, right? So we are going to select the values. Then we go to conditional formatting, right? And then we highlight the cell rules, right? So let's say that if the cell rule is less than 3, right? We are going to fill that place with green, right? We click on OK. And then with the same value selected, let's go to conditional formatting again. Let's say if it is greater than 7, right? If it's greater than 7, let's mark it as red. Okay. Yeah, let's give it red and click on OK. So if you look at it
Madam,
very carefully,
Madam, sorry. Please, the way we are labeling with the color, is it different from the colors I'm seeing up there? Because I'm seeing one with the bucket, the field, and then the alphabet one.
which one? This one's.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. This one is for formatting, right? You can use it to format, but we have, I think, how many rows of data do you have here? Wired than 1 or 2?
Right.
Yeah, wired than 1. Imagine I have to go through all this and say, okay, if it is greater than 7, then mark it red. That means I have to go through all of this one after the other, right?
Okay.
I have to go through all of this one after the other and do that manually, which takes a lot of time.
Right.
Which takes a
Right.
lot of time, right? So what we are doing is that Excel is an intelligent tool. Excel is an intelligent tool that helps us to work faster, right? With this kind of
Yeah.
job, you can give it to maybe an intern who is being stubborn. It's been reported that this intern doesn't take instructions, he does whatever. Then you can decide to give this intern this kind of punishment, because to me it is punishment to have to come here and then highlight this as maybe yellow. It's possible to do it manually, but it's tedious. Like, it's tedious.
But madam, what if the intern is quite stubborn and then he or she can use the conditional formatting?
And then that should tell you that this intern is not an intern. He's stubborn for a reason, right? So we use the conditional formatting to set values. So right now, when I pick my data, I can say that I can look at the data and then clearly I identify those that um they supply on time. So I know that green is like a green light. It's for those who supply on time, and then red is for like red flags. Red is for those. So let's say that between 3 to 7, they are normal, like average, right? You can even make this further by using the Excel functions and formulas. Okay, so you can say equal to um mm, if you can use the if function. If the f anytime you enter Excel, you be sure to use the equal mark. I mean, you are entering a function or a formula, be sure to enter the equal mark sign. That is going to tell Excel that you are entering a formula and not a text value, right? You're not just entering a data in Excel, but you want it to perform a function. And then the function that I want to perform is if, right? So I'm going to set a condition that if the length of delivery, the values and the length of delivery, if it is less than 3, let's make it what should we name it? So we have late supplier for those that, and then early. Okay, so let's name it early bird. So equal to if, then you open a bracket, right? So if this is greater than, if cell F2, is it F2? Yes, F2 is greater than 3, right? Or less than, let's use less than first, it's less than 3, then let's name it early bird or early supplier. I'm sure Excel will yell at my formula. I always get the formulas wrong. So that's why I always employ, you realize we were talking about ChatGPT and all that. I mean AI. So yes, this is how you can also use AI to accelerate your workflow.
Very
Look at this. I'm sure
helpful.
Excel will scream at me. Let's see. So I'm going to Excel. Sorry, let's go to ChatGPT. And then I'm going to ask it a question that I need a function, an Excel function. Please be specific, right? I need an Excel function to highlight suppliers who supply within in less than 3 days. Less than 3 days. Okay. So this is just me being lazy. It will give you the formula. So it's telling you where you have the order date, delivery date, the name. Okay, I just need a formula. So you can see that it's giving us, it's using the conditional formatting we just used, that we can go to home, then conditional format thing, and then we will use the formula, right? So I want to take it further. What I want is, let me look at the,
Yeah.
okay, so my delivery is in F2.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, someone is not muted and is having a call. Please. So let's say my values are in cell F2, and I will be using an if function, to highlight. Okay, okay, okay. I get the highlight. So I use highlight, so it's giving me the color option to um classify them as early delivery or early. Let's make it early, right? So my values are in cell F. That means what I want to do is in cell F, right? And I want to, I'll be using an if function. The if function is like, is you are setting a condition, right? So let's look at how a cell is, ChatGPT is going to give us this function. Okay. So yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. Okay. Right. So I didn't get the value because I didn't indicate the other condition. I mean, when something is if, then it has to be at least two conditions. So if cell F2 is less than 3, name it early function, right? I mean early supplier. Let's find the, and then let's add the greater supplier. Else we call it, okay, give me a second. If F2 is greater than 3 or 7, let's make it 7. Is greater than 7, then early supplier. Greater than 7 should be late, right? Late supplier. Make sure you put it in quotation. Else, it should be an early supplier or normal supplier. Right, that is what I want to do, but let's use the Excel function so that I'll copy it, then we can edit it as we want. So I'll come here and delete all the, you know, I'll paste it over here, right? Okay, it even gave me a nice thing on time and late. So if the F2 is less than 3, I didn't wrap this one, so okay. So if it's a logical function, and we are talking about cell F because that is where the length of delivery, the days it takes for them to deliver can be found. So it's in F2. So if F2, the value in F2 is equal to 3, let's call it on time. Else, let's call it late. But what this function will do, when we enter this function, it's going to make all the ones 3, 2, 1, those who have 3, 2, 1, they are going to have on time, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to even 21 will have late. But I think we should consider 4, 5, up to 7. So like, let's say maximum 7 days is on time. Okay. And then, less than 3 days is, early, then late, greater than 7 is late. So let's refine the prompt. So let's say that I want to classify those who deliver in 3 days or less as early, 4 to 7 days as on time, and beyond 7 days, as late. So let's see, I've entered that prompt. I'm going to find it. Okay. So here it has given us what we're looking for. So if F2 is less than 3 days, is less than 3, then term it early. If it is less than or equal to 7, let's term it on time. If it is else, let's term it at late delivery. So I'm going to paste it here, and then when I hit enter, we have the on time over here. So you can see that it has. So you can see over here. Anyone, is there anyone who wants to ask a question? Hi, James. Do you want to ask a question?
No, madam.
Okay. Okay, so you can see that after we entered the function, it has identified that 7 is on time because we set it that if it is less than 3, then it is early. If it is less than or equal to 7, then it's on time. If else, you realize that with the late, we didn't give any function. That means that anything that is greater than 7 will be classified as late. So what we are going to do is the plus icon you see over here. We are going to move the cursor over there. It will turn into a plus, then we drag it down. So it's automatically going to fill all of them, right? So you can see 14 days is late, 9 days late, 1 day early, 4 days on time, right? So with this information, you can even further highlight it, like with the conditional formatting that we just used, right? So let's highlight this, and then we go back to conditional formatting. We are going to highlight it. This time around, it doesn't have a number, it has a text. So you go down, right? Then you click on text. So format text. So if it contains early, then let's give it a green fill. Click on OK. Right, so all the earlys have turned into green, and then we go back in there again to text if it is on time. Let's call it, let's give it a yellow fill. And then finally, if it is late, right? If it is late, let's give it a red fill. Okay. So you realize that when you pick this, you know that this supplier supplies on time, right? Aquaba, they supply on time, and then someone like Blue Rivers supplies late. Someone like Sunrise Ventures supplies late. You know, if I am the procurement manager and I'm looking at this, I may be tempted to believe that I may be tempted to pardon Bono region because they are coming from afar. But it can't be in Greater Accra, right? It can't be in Greater Accra and supply within 12 days. When you have someone from Bono supplying within 10 days. So these are some of the insights you could get from your data to enable you in making your decisions. Right? Okay. So I think we'll thank our brother for asking such a question. It has given us the opportunity to look at conditional formatting as part of our analysis process. Okay. Any question before we move on from here? Hello. Okay. If there are no questions, then we move on. Okay. So right now, let's move on to the next sheet. Let me erase this thing. Okay. So let's name this one, let's say descriptive analysis. Let's call this sheet descriptive analysis. Hi, are we all here? I feel like
We
I
are
can't be
here,
heard.
madam. We are here.
Okay.
Madam, we
Okay.
are there with you. We are here.
All right. So let's call this one descriptive analysis. And over here, let's look, let's do some basic calculations like we did last week. So last week, what did we calculate for? I think we calculated total cost, right? So let's insert, right click and insert, and then let's call this total or cost. Let's call this cost. Okay. So when we come here, we want to look at how much it costs us to procure office shares from Aquaba Supplies, right? So how are we going to get the cost? We are going to use a sum function, right? So we will enter in Excel under the cost, we'll click equal to, right? And then we multiply the C2 by C2 by what do you call it? Cell D2. Okay, then we hit enter. So it gives us the figure, right? Then we drag. Okay. Maybe you are lazy, you don't want to drag, or not being lazy, you just want to be efficient. You can tweak it, right? I think we have up to, let's look at the number, the last number, up to 101. Okay. So here we have cell C2. We'll use colon, right, to cell 101, right? Then we'll do the same thing for D. I'm going to use the colon. Then we have D 101. So it's going to select everything, right? Then we hit enter. It's supposed to fill everything. So C2 multiplied by, okay, let's see. I think the dragon is our best fit right now. Okay. So you drag it. Why am I having this green flag? Okay. So anytime you have a green flag, it's not a red flag, something that would prevent say something is wrong with your function or not, but you should still look at it. Okay. So it omits adjacent cells. So let's keep it at the initial phase, the one we just had. And then we hit enter. Then we drag. I think this is easier to do than calculating it manually. What do you think?
Madam, that's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Okay. So we now have the total, the cost. So let's go to our descriptive analysis sheet, and we want to calculate for, let's say, total procurement spend, right? So let's say, let's get total procurement spend. So we can call these sheets. Maybe you want to use 3. So let's combine these 3 cells. 1, 2, 3. You highlight it. Then you go to merge, right? Merge and center. You can click this merge and center. It merges all the 3 cells for you as one. Then we can call this one maybe summary. Okay. Then let's come to this one. Then let's so we are going to calculate for total procurement cost. All right. I think we may need more than 3. Let's say 4. Okay. So total procurement cost is equal to, you are going to find the sum, right? Then you open your bracket. So I'm going back to our main data, right? And you are going to calculate all of this. Then we hit enter. So it comes back over here. And then we have the total cost that we have over here. Okay. I think what we didn't do is we didn't express this as an accounting number. So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, this one is quantity and this is price.
Yeah,
We'll express this as an accounting formula. It's giving us dollars when we are operating in cities. Never mind. So let's come here. And then we can express this as an accounting formula, but let's still reference this. So let's go back and then go to the main data. And then we are going to highlight all this. Hit enter. So you see that it has given us a nice formula, but let's change it let's customize it to Ghana cities. Let's choose Ghana cities. Okay. Let's do that for this. Let's do the same for this. Yes, Emmanuel.
Hello, madam.
Hi.
So I just want to find out, I think I've asked this before, but I think we're in a rush to close the class because the other lecture was also inside. So my question is, when a data or when you are being asked to perform this kind of analyze a data like this, is there a specific, aims or objectives that the entity or the person wants you to achieve, so that it can guide you in asking some questions which will guide you to know what you are going to do and know what is supposed to come in and what you are achieving at the end? Or
okay, who can answer him? Yeah, who can answer him? Because I think we tackled this when we met face to face, right? If I'm not mistaken. So yes, I would rather one of you answers him. Hey, is that to say that no, that the silence means you guys are also you also have the same questions to ask. You were not present during that class, or you forgotten. I want to know.
Madam, please, you pose the question again.
So he's asking that when you are presented with a data set, does the organization give you the aims, what they want to achieve with the data set they've given to you, which will guide your analysis, or you have to come up with your questions, come up with your analysis to offer the entity. I hope I captured your question correctly.
Very well, madam. Very well. Very well. And then the reason being that is because as I mean, most of the courses or most of the instances when you are coming up as a data analyst or doing these kind of things, there are some hubs that has data, data that you can work with, but it doesn't include any questions and those things. So I'm asking that in reference to that, in reference to those data that the raw data that is being given, that you are analyzing it based on your own interest.
All right. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think your question I've taken another direction. All right. So when we met, I think during the 4th week, we met in person. Someone asked this question that when you're being given the data, are you the one to use your discretion to do analysis, or the entity that provided the data set will give you? And I said that some organizations would give you their direction. They want to, oh, this is the data set we have. We want to see the best performing suppliers, right? So you are now going to use your analytical skills and your question asking skills, right? Because as when you're working with data, you will need to ask a lot of questions. Why is this? Why is this that? Which one is the highest? Which one is the lowest? Those kind of questions. You'll be asking what happened, why it happened, all these questions. So one skill you should also have as someone analyzing data is um, asking the right questions. Okay. So yes, some entities would give you their direction that this is the data we have and this is what we want to achieve. We are giving you a data that spans from maybe 2020 to 2025. And we want to see the top 3 performing suppliers, right? So you are going to analyze and give, they're giving their direction. Some entities, they don't have good knowledge in data analysis. All that they know is, oh, data analysis helps businesses make good decisions, right? With data. So they have their data and you are a data analyst. So they are giving it to you. So they are now falling on you as a data analyst to derive insights, to gain insights from the data they've shared with you, right? So that is for the entity part, like you are working with an organization. Then your other question made mention of
As an entry level analyst, there is
yes,
a hub that
you visit sites, you download data, and there are no directions. Yes, so you have these sites that have a lot of data, healthcare data, customer service data, a lot like water crisis data. They have a lot of data sets available, and you are going to choose, and then you test your hands on it. So those ones do not come with questions that you have to answer. If you are fortunate to find ones that have questions for you to answer, that would sort of guide your the analysis you are doing. Other than that, you would not be able to. You would have to use your own discretion to actually analyze the data. Kane, I'll come to you. Let me highlight this. I'll come to you. So you realize we have a data set like this: supplier, products, unit cost, quantity cost, order dates, and all those things, right? And region. So here it didn't come with any guiding question as to what we should do with the data, right? We are just working with the data. But you should also know that all these columns, right? Sorry, all these headers that you have over here, it gives you insights as to what you can do with your data set, right? So let's take something like products. Let's start with supplier. Let's say you have the supplier. You can go through and see if we have like a supplier that has the name has appeared twice, right? I'm not sure we have anything like that, right? We can use the mode function to find. Let's see if we have anything like that. Mode is the one that appeared the highest, right? Let's see. There is none. Give me a second. So let's just copy. It starts from A2 to A01. Let's choose that. So realize it's even 0. Okay, this one. So let's start from A2 to A101, right? And hit enter. None. There is none available because all of them are single, just one supplier, then the other consumer. But if we have, let's say, we have prime source, and then when we come here, you have something like prime source, then it will tell us that prime source appeared twice. So they are the supplier that maybe they supply us frequently. Then products. You can also look at the products section to see which of the products that we purchase the most if we have duplicate like repeated products. So here we have office chair, pens, desktop computers. I don't think we have. Okay, there's right. You can even put them in a chat, right? You can put them in a chat. Let's insert it into a chat to see. Let's use yeah. Even the chat I doubt because all these things are stateless appeared once, flip charts once, extension codes once. So really, and mind you, this is like a data that I generated just for us to test data entry. So the purpose of this was for data entry and not analysis, right? If we go deep into analysis, then we'll use maybe AI to generate a realistic data set that we can analyze. So to answer your question briefly, the headers you have over here will tell you what you can do with your data set. It tells you the kind of data set you are working with, the kind of questions you can ask, and the insights you can gain, right? So quantity, we can look at the highest in quantity as well as revenue. We can look at average, we can look at cost. So when a company hires you as their business intelligence officer and they share their data with you, some have a direction that they are going and they would share that direction with you, but others do not have. And you have to use your analytical skills to help the company achieve their goals. Okay, Ken, now let me take your question, Ken.
Yes, madam. So, madam, if we want to now describe the data that we have, okay, let's say we want to put it in a graphical form, and we want to know those those who supply early, those who supply late. We can do that. Can we do that
Yes.
with this data?
Yeah, so what we are basically doing is descriptive analysis, where we put in the length and then on time delivery, right? It's just descriptive analysis. We are describing our data, right? So we know that, okay, let's see. We know that the data set we have some that deliver on time, that's some that deliver late, and then all that. So let's see, let's come here. We are going to use a function. We are going to count the instances where, like, how many suppliers deliver early. Okay. And since this one, they are not numbers, early, late, on time, they are not numbers, they are texts, right? You cannot use a count function. Count only counts numbers, right? But when you want to count any text, you are going to use the count a function, right? So you choose the count a function, and then you open a bracket. So you are going to count I2 all the way to I102, right? So I wanted to use a count a whatever. So I'm going to use the count
It's
if,
I101. I101.
and I've written one, eh?
You did
Okay, give me a
102.
second. Give me a second. So yes, use the count. So let's use count if. I don't know why. Let me type it. Okay. So I'm going to count if cell I, right? I2 to I101. I101 is equal to Ellie, right? And I'm sure Excel will shout at me, but let's see. So let me copy this and then take it to ChatGPT to fine tune it for me. So I'm going to take this to ChatGPT and ask it to fine tune it for me. When you're working with you're analyzing data, AI should also be your best friend. So I like have it to fine tune this function. Yeah.
So, at my workplace, right? So with for data privacy, especially with the Copilot, the 360.
Yeah.
You can train
Yes.
it for it to become your something that even if you put something sensitive on it, it will not go out. So in a situation whereby a client has given you this kind of work to do, or as a procurement officer, you're analyzing a data like this, I believe you can use something like that to assist you, because about this thing is too much to grab everything into your head.
Oh yes, that is true. So we have Copilot established in Excel, which is an AI agent, just like ChatGPT and all that. So you can do that. But sometimes you have to grab the basics, okay, so that you know what to do.
Okay, all right.
Right. Yeah, so that is there. And it shouldn't you realize I copy the function or the formula and I take it to ChatGPT because of data privacy issues, right? Just like you said, you don't share your data with AI. No matter the privacy settings and all that, it's still safe not to share. I mean, you can have the settings in place. And then if some companies do not mind, but some actually do, they'll tell you never to test or share their data with AI. So when you find yourself in such a situation, you describe your problem to AI and then it solves it for you rather than feeding the AI with all the data like real data sets. You get it? So you have
Very well, madam.
yeah, you have Copilot in Excel that will help you to do all these things within a twinkle of an eye, right? And I think it doesn't come with the free version. Okay, so here we just counted suppliers that count of early suppliers. So in our data set, we realize that we have 40 suppliers that supply early, and we picked that information over here. So we use a count if function to count all of this, right? Where you have early. So we have 100 suppliers minus the header, right? It gives us 100 suppliers. So out of those 100 suppliers, 40 of them supplies on time. They supply early. Do you get it? So this is also a descriptive analysis. We are describing the data set. When we move on to predictive analysis, that is where you do the forecasting, right? It will forecast what will happen in the future. In other way, it is predicting what will happen in the future. You get it? It was
Yes,
it Ken
madam.
that asked? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm the one. Yes.
Okay. So you can copy this. Let's see. I want to cut this and bring it
So,
here so that
madam,
it falls under. Yeah.
it means that if I want to do the predictive analysis, that's where I can use the graphics. Or even with this, I can still pick the early, those who came late, those who are within, can still put it
Okay.
on maybe a pie chart or a bar chart to justify
Absolutely. So
the case.
yeah, absolutely. So what you just shared is you want to see a graphical representation of
Yes,
the quality of the supplies that we have. So you
yes,
highlight all this, then you insert it into a cell. Since this we have just three values, early, on time, and late. We are going to choose a pie chart. What is happening over here? Let's say supplier quality. So we insert it into a chart. I don't know why this is happening this way. Let's try to edit the charts. Wow. This is supposed to give us a chart with a composition of what do you call it? The qualities of this let me see. Well, I'm quite surprised this thing is behaving this way because the only way to insert a chart is just highlight it, insert it into a chart. Let's try with data quality. Okay. This is for Greater Accra. Let's try for the quality of suppliers. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to behave. Okay. So you realize that we selected the values under supplier quality, and we can see that we have this big number. I think it's okay, 40% is okay. Right. So you have this blue section dedicated for suppliers that supply early, then orange for suppliers that supply late, and gray for suppliers that supplies on time. This is still descriptive analysis. But when you want to do predictive analysis, then you need a historical data set, not just one data set like this one, right? This one is not enough to predict the future, right? So let's say you have the suppliers and then a history of, let's say, maybe 3 months, right? Their delivery time for over 3 months period. So you are going to pick the date, like the 3 months period, and then you pick their delivery date. So that would when you plot that on a chart, and that one we use a line chart. When you plot that, it's going to give you insight into the future, what it looks like for the supplier in the future based on their history from the past. So if in the past they supply quite late, they are not on time, then the prediction for the future would certainly be that they are likely going to be the same. They are likely going to not be on time. But if they have a historical record of delivering on time, delivering early on time, then you know that yes, you will have that forecast. And for that, we use a line chart, and then we also have the forecast feature in Excel to do that. But this is just one data set with just one date, so we cannot really do, we cannot forecast at this point. Okay. Yes, Emmanuel.
Hello, madam. So, in as much as Power BI, SQL, and Tableau, they are all part of the tools that are being used by data analysts to analyze data. In before all these steps, aside from before to clean data, let me use to clean data. You always need to use Excel to clean it before you take it to these apps to analyze it further. Or because what I've seen it is analyze doing data cleaning in these apps sometimes are very hard from the little experience that I've had. Right. But if you it makes the work very easier when you are doing the cleaning. That is the ETL stage. You know, before you export it to or you take it to Power BI, when you do it in the Excel, it's much easier to get what you are looking for than to go and do the cleaning in the ETL stage at the Power BI.
Okay, so you have just answered your question. Haven't you? Okay, so yes, you remember when we started, I said that we are going to be focusing on two tools, Excel and Power BI. At the introduction stage, we looked at other tools that we use for business intelligence and analytics. We made mention of Python, SQL, Tableau, and so on. But just as you mentioned, it is doable. You can actually clean data in all these tools that you have mentioned, right? But it's a lot easier to prepare your data in Excel, like we're doing now. Do all the cleaning so that by the time you carry it into Power BI, you will not have a lot of work. You not have hard time cleaning to do. It's easier to clean a challenging data cleaning task in Excel than in Power BI, right? That is why for this session, we introduced Excel. Normally we do Power BI, but Excel remain like an OG. It's the mother of all software. Yeah. So it's easier, very, very much easier to prepare your data sets in Excel, right? Clean it, everything. So by the time you carry it into Power BI, a platform like Power BI, even if there is a data cleaning issue over there, it wouldn't be that tedious to do, right? Which will be moving on to next week. In fact, I thought we can do this in an hour and then move into Power BI since our task would have been to look at the interface, but that is it's not a problem. We can do that next week. So today we have looked at
Next week, actually, we don't have a class. It's going to be the personal self-studies. But next
okay.
2 weeks, so after next week, we have 3 meetings before we end the semester.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I've uploaded some content on the LMS since from week 4. It's going to be more practical. So you find lots of tutorials rather than reading, rather than notes in there. So kindly visit the platform, visit the links that I've shared with you, and then practice the data sets as you watch the tutorials. Right. I think our time is far spent. We are 3 minutes into somebody's time. So I would like to end here, but in a nutshell, we've looked at descriptive data in Excel, we've looked at conditional formatting and a little bit of visualization. But when we get into Power BI, we are going to do more visualization because that is its superpowers, right?
Yes, madam.
All right.
So, madam,
Thank you. Yeah.
Just a quick one. So, with regards to the assignment you gave us on the platform, it was showing 4, which is one under the one forum discussion, one is locked, which there wasn't any reply.
Yeah. The one that is locked is just I think it's week 1 or week 2. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So I just had to lock one. So never mind. Don't worry about that one.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. We'll meet on the platform. Please engage so that I know that you visit the place. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you
All right.
very much, madam. Sure. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.